let's dive into a fascinating and frankly mind-bending topic. Has science just proven that we are not living in a computer simulation? New research says yes, and the implications could change everything we know about reality, physics, and even our own consciousness. So, new research uses established ironclad mathematical theorems from thinkers like Gödel and Tarski to argue that our universe cannot be a computer simulation. In short, any simulation would have to run on algorithms, and these theorems prove that any algorithmic system is fundamentally incomplete. It will always have gaps or contradictions. The researchers argue that since our reality appears complete and consistent, it can't be a simulation. What do you think about this, John?
Yeah, so shout out to deGrasse for this, because he thinks we're in a simulation. So, an international team of physicists, which was led by Dr. Faisal at the University of BC, by the way, in Canada, they just mathematically proved that being in a simulation is impossible by using century-old mathematical principles called Gödel's incompleteness theorems. And that shows that some truth can never be proven through step-by-step logic, no matter how advanced your computer is. So it's like having a true statement that says, this statement cannot be proven. If you try to prove it, you break logic itself. So why does this matter? So any computer simulation, no matter how advanced, has to follow programmed rules or algorithms. But these researchers, they proved that the fundamental nature of reality requires something called non-algorithmic understanding, which is a type of comprehension that goes beyond what any computer program can achieve. So the bottom line here is that our reality is actually real. We're not living in someone's cosmic video game, and we never could be, because the universe operates on principles that no computer, no matter how powerful, could ever simulate. What do you think? Do you agree with this, or are you skeptical on this?
I'm a little skeptical on this one. I don't think we're living in a simulation, so I don't, let's start there. Secondly, we are just reaching the understanding or bending our understanding of the universe. We are changing our theories on how it exists and how quantum physics reacts with normal physics. And we're starting to put these pieces together that, Tarski and Gödel never really understood because they didn't really exist, quantum physics and whatnot back in the day. So we sit back and say, okay, we never have that computational power, right? It can't happen. Well, what do you mean it can't happen? Because we don't have it, we wouldn't exist inside our own computers. That doesn't make sense. We exist inside some other computer that is beyond all this technology, because this technology exists inside this other computer thing. And the world responds to certain rules that could obviously be programming. I don't know. I feel that in our known state, yes, this is true. But as we move forward, as quantum mechanics and quantum physics gets more and more real, and I like to say, quantum is magic, we're predetermining the future with quantum computing, and all of a sudden the world is a different place. So I think it is possible for a simulation to be this complete. I just don't believe we're living in one.
I agree. No, I don't. So I'm not convinced that we're not living in a simulation. I think that this just goes to show the limits of our understanding, if that makes sense. So, they're talking about these principles that are not quantum-based principles. And so I think that if you look at the quantum side of things, there is still a likely chance that we might be living in a simulation. And I disagree with them that the computational power is we couldn't achieve that power. I think that's a limitation in our current technology and our understanding of current technology. Or, sorry, understanding of future technology.
This challenges the hugely popular simulation hypothesis like we're talking about. More importantly for science, it suggests a decades-long question of a single computational theory of everything is impossible. And it forced us to reconsider the nature of reality itself. So I always thought that, chasing down a single computational theory of everything was a ridiculous idea. But it doesn't mean we would learn so much along the way that the doing it is worth it, even though we probably never will ever get a theory of everything, because logically in the universe expansion, all this stuff, and our literal understanding as babies in this universe means that, how long we would never get there. And why would a single theory happen? But chasing it has revealed all this stuff for science, and the value of the quest is more than the value of the end goal, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. So there's a little bit more that we can talk about here. So,
of course,
what they're saying is the mathematical proof establishes that since reality's fundamental nature requires non-algorithmic understanding, that there's no simulation, which must operate algorithmically and can replicate the universe. So they're saying that even hypothetical civilizations with unlimited computational resources would face these same mathematical constraints. And so the research itself extends beyond simple computational limitations to demonstrate that the universe's basic operating principles exist outside algorithmic frameworks entirely. And so that's the part here that they're saying has profound implications for artificial intelligence development, which is suggesting that true consciousness or intelligence might require access to non-algorithmic understanding rather than mere increased computational power. And their work also challenges information physics approaches that attempt to explain phenomena like dark matter and dark energy through computational rules, indicating that these also require non-algorithmic explanations. And so I see where they're coming from, but I still am skeptical.
Yeah, and they suggest that like the black hole information paradox illustrates the limitations perfectly. Like when matter falls into the black hole, quantum mechanics says the information about the matter must be preserved. However, general relativity suggests that information disappears when the whole evaporates. So computational approaches to quantum gravity struggle with this paradox because they cannot algorithmically solve the fundamental tension between these two theories. This contradiction reveals a deeper issues when trying to reduce all physics to computational processes. Yeah, I guess. But, if we were living in a video game, the video game would decide which physics applies to this particular situation, and we wouldn't understand it, would we?
Yeah, we would.
Well, I mean, if we're living here on the world and we've analyzed the physics here, but out there in space, there's different rules applied near black holes. They have their own gravitational rules that we haven't discovered before that don't apply and now override regular physics because, again, we're in a computational simulation. We wouldn't necessarily understand why our rules are no longer applying, is all I'm saying.
Well, yeah, because it's quantum rules then. You know what? Anytime you say we can understand, I'm just going to throw quantum at you. So
magic.
It's magic.
So no computational theory of everything, the need for non-algorithmic understanding. And this non-rhythmic understanding, suggests that maybe... Are we assuming that we're in a simulation and there wasn't a non-algorithmic being or beings involved in the creation of this?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why would you assume that, since algorithm cannot provide complete, consistent descriptions of reality, no simulation universe could fully capture all aspects of existence? And secondly, how do you know that they're not currently, like, let's just say in World of Warcraft, where they're constantly updating the code to this simulation that we're in all the time so that things change?
True. Yeah.
I guess from a scientific theory and our current understanding of the universe, based on these theories, we've broken the simulation theory, and it says it can exist, and maybe a meta theory of everything with a non-algorithmic elements is what we should be moving towards.
Maybe. Yeah.
This seems what the evidence seems to be pointing towards. So these findings might affect multiple areas of scientific research: artificial intelligence, cosmology, philosophy of mind, and information theory. So it'll be interesting to see how this maps our understanding of the universe moving forward. And I'd love to hear what some of the simulation theory people come out with about this as a response. You know, Zuck and Elon and several others believe we're in a simulation, and be love to hear what their response to this is.
Absolutely.
So the universe isn't a program, and our consciousness might be a fundamental part of reality, not just a byproduct of information. It's a huge idea to wrap your head around, and it means the most human parts of us, our intuition and creativity, might just be the key to understanding everything. We'll be tracking this one. Thanks for watching, and let us know what you think. What do you got going on, John?
Yeah, just gearing up. Is this coming out in December?
Yeah, December, might even be January now, actually.
Okay, gearing up for the holidays or gearing down from the holidays. So planning out my next few months and, ramping up for shred season. How about you, Craig?
Well, we're wrapping up 2025 and planning 2026. So this is probably too late for the Start Investor Drinks and Flowgrammer events in December, but take a look for them in January. There's always stuff going on. Check out torontostarts.com for our startup and business related events and resources. And check out flowgrammer.ca for our business and AI automation information if you're looking for that. And if you're a builder in Toronto and you want to join the Flowgrammer Builders Club, head over to flowgrammers.ca. That website is live now. Go check it out. Join us and at our live events. We do online stuff. We do live office hours every week. Go over there and sign up. There's downloaded workflows and tools you can test and play with. So check all that stuff out. But John, if people are looking for non-dilutive funding, where do they go?
Yeah, come find me on LinkedIn. I've got a link. You can book some time with me or send me a message so that we can have a conversation first. But find me on LinkedIn, John Irwin, no H. But if you need help with your business overall, with your startup, how do they get in touch with you, Craig?
Head over to startupcoach.ca or torontostarts.com and just book a call with me and get a discovery call, find out what's going on and get you motivated. If you're not interested in that, come out to one of our events, talk to other founders and whatnot, and just talk to people. It really is, knowing that you're not alone can motivate you a lot. But other than that, give us a call or book a meeting over at torontostarts.com. And thanks everyone for listening or watching, and hope to talk to you again soon.